This is Robert.
Hi, Robin. This is Bridget with the conferencing center, and I have the ARIS call.
Okay. And did you get an answer on the, I haven't looked at my emails yet this morning, but did you get an answer on the breaking in on the last question?
Yes, I did. I spoke with Jenny by telephone, and what the plan there is, when I can see, based on the sub-satellite point, that we've got maybe 20 seconds left, I'll just quickly come in and say, look, okay guys, it's now, we're about to lose signal, it's now time to say thank you and goodbye, and I'll hand it straight up.
That's great, thank you.
I know some schools prefer to get through all the questions, or as many questions as they can, but I think...
No, this is something I do. This is something I do. I'm always assessing the received signal and the time left. I'll squeeze as much as I can into it, but at some point you've got to cut it, otherwise you don't get the round of thanks in.
Well, I've got 100% confidence in Jenny and Robert, like they've done this all before, and oh, here we go, we're now live. Wow. We've done it all before, so I know that everything will run like clockwork.
Good.
There's actually a TV station there which I think is going to air this program, not tomorrow night, but Thursday night, I think.
Oh, very nice.
It's a big national program, the project.
Oh.
They've got some atrocious weather there in Victoria at the moment, I believe.
That's not good.
But at least it's beautiful here. Not even a breath of wind.
Yeah, it's been the same here. We've been hit by something of an unusual heat wave. So we've been hitting the 30s in Celsius, which is unknown for us here in the UK. But it's been absolutely glorious here for the last 6 or so weeks. Really, really beautiful weather.
Okay, well that's good. I think Tony would have liked to have been with us tonight, but he's already pre-booked with his son. He's explained to his son that he's going to give him a hand.
Yeah, no, just
clear picture on YouTube.
Yeah, I've just got to find the email and find the link on that now. Okay, so I've got the tele-bridge passes through for Glendine as well.
Okay.
So I'll sort those out today and get them out to you.
Yeah, okay, actually the teacher that's involved in that one is dropping in here tonight, so she's going to sit in and watch this.
Okay. And how do you refer to Jenny in front of the kids? Do you call her Mrs. Austin, Miss Austin, Ms. Austin, or just Jenny?
I've been calling her Jenny, but we can clarify that as soon as they come back online.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Okay.
To date it's been rather informal, but it may well be that it's Austin or Mrs. Austin.
Okay. They're nice. Don't worry.
I know, I'm sorry, this is Bridget, and I just have to say I thought you had a pet bird or something in the background.
These are all in the bush, Bridget. We're sort of on the edge of the outback, and we are out in the bush with lots of birds. And actually, ironically, I was standing out the front of the house on Sunday, and 4 emus come walking past.
Oh wow!
I saw that picture. That was gorgeous.
Yeah. Just wandering around town.
Hey, Bridget, just for your info as well, roughly around about 08:15, we'll start the recording.
The astronauts from the ISS come from many different countries, and they'll be speaking talking to us right here at our school.
It's an amazing experience to talk to the ISS, which is way up there.
It's a once-in-a-blue-moon opportunity to talk to the ISS. Hi, my name's Malavika and I'm so lucky and I'm really excited to be asking the first question. I'm super excited to speak to the astronauts on the ISS. We're going to speak to the International Space Station. Yay!
I'm George, and I'm the principal of Essex Heights Primary School. We are so excited to be hosting an ARIS link with the International Space Station. Our children are ready to go with their questions, and they want to be able to speak with the astronauts and ask many different things that are on their minds. So make sure that you join us on our live link in July.
has anyone ever done what we're doing tonight and actually live stream the entire contact?
Oh yes, it's become a little bit popular thing to do and make it. Oh, you got an update on Windows 10, and make it a really inclusive thing for people who can't actually physically be there. But yes, it's becoming an activity that everyone gets very interested in. One quick question for you.
Hello, Robert.
Yes?
Okay, Jenny, as I understand, is going to be making a little comment about school itself just before the contact happens. How do you normally, or how do you normally like being referred to in front of the students? Is it Miss Austin, Mrs. Austin, Jenny Austin? Jenny, okay, that's great. The audio off the live stream. There's quite a significant delay. I'm talking about 10-15 seconds. I know, this is good because you've got a cracking head. Are you in, do you have some flip mode or anything? Or? What I'll do is just let the head do the introduction, do a little bit about getting ready and doing the cheering as well, round of applause. I'll also get you to open the audio levels up so they're used to the squelch. We did something at the last UK conference which amazed us actually. We got the squelch code for 30 seconds. Only the people that were in the room that then heard the very first response was amazing. It was really in the noise, but they could definitely hear the difference. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you.
She'll love that.
Could you hear me? Hello, it's me, it's Kieran Morgan, engineer at Essex Heights. I hope you enjoy this. This is special. Shown out, and I got all the latest from your contact extending later on in the next couple of days to get you involved. Welcome and enjoy it, and if you've got any questions, just shout.
Hi there. I've had a lot of people ask me how I wash my hair in space, and I thought I'd show you how I do it. Let's see. To get started, these are the things I need. A bag of warm water, a little no-rinse shampoo, a towel, and my comb. What I like to do is start by just putting some hot water, squirting it onto my scalp, and I have a mirror here so I can kind of watch what I'm doing. Sometimes the water gets away from you, and you try and catch as much as you can. Then I just work the water up through to the ends of my hair.
Have you come across?
And I take my no-rinse shampoo and squirt it also on the scalp just a little bit and rub it in. Again, kind of working it out to the ends. And sometimes I'll actually take my comb to help work it all the way to the ends. And I like to take my towel while I have the shampoo in there and just kind of work it. Because without standing under running water, you kind of need to use the towel a little bit to help get some of the dirt out. I like to follow that by a little more water. It's called no-rinse shampoo, but I think it's best if you use a little water with it. It actually feels kind of squeaky clean right now. Now I'll take the dry part of my towel. We use towels for quite a while here. since we have limited supplies. We use them wisely. I think that's pretty good. And now as my hair dries, as the water evaporates from my hair, it will become humidity in the air, and then our air conditioning system will collect that into condensate, and it won't be long, and our water processing system will turn that into drinking water. At the end, I just do one final comb through to make sure there are no snarls and snags, and while it dries, I like to let it stay free. I don't put it back in a ponytail while it's drying. And that is how I wash my hair in space on the International Space Station.
Southern tip of Africa.
Have you worked with Serena before?
No, I haven't. This will be the first one with her. I've done pretty much most of the others, but not Serena. The one that I've done a couple with now is Ricky Arnold. He's really good. Whether it's that background as a teacher that gives him the insight to talk to kids, I don't know, but he's very good.
Five things that you probably didn't know about me. Probably number one, our family has two dogs who really think they are brothers. And one is a 130-pound French Mastiff named Boss Hogg. And the other is a 12-pound miniature dachshund named Oscar. And they run around together and they think they are absolute brothers and absolutely the same, but they are absolutely the heart and soul of our family. Number two, our family absolutely loves to watch Aggie baseball. It's one of the favorite things that we do together as much as we can, certainly during baseball season in the spring. And in fact, it was the last thing we did before coming out to Russia to prepare for launch. We watched the Aggies play baseball at the University of Tennessee. Number three, I actually do still practice medicine. I'm an active physician, and one of my favorite places to see patients is at a free clinic in Galveston, Texas, where we practice medicine for the underserved and those who can't afford medical care and do not have insurance, and that's at St. Vincent's House in Galveston, Texas. Completely student-run free clinic, but it's one of the joys. I love going there, and I love seeing my patients, and it allows me to teach medical students and residents really how to practice medicine in an underserved environment, and something I enjoy doing every week when I'm able. Number four, my husband and I had a very non-traditional wedding on a 1,000-acre ranch, and part of our wedding reception, we actually had a rodeo event, and there was a big calf roping event that occurred, and most of our guests say they had never ever been to a wedding or a reception like that, but thought it was the best thing they'd ever been to. Final one, number five, something many people do not know about me is that when I was getting my bachelor's degree at the George Washington University, I also needed to work to earn some money, and so I actually taught martial arts. I taught Kung Fu to school-age kids from age 5 to about 15. I would do that 3 times a week, and that's how I earned money in college, teaching martial arts.
Subscribe.
Welcome everybody to this very special night for our school community, and especially for our amazing opportunity for our 12 students. I'd like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people, the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet this evening, and pay my respects to their elders past and present. This evening we are delighted to also welcome Michael Gidley, State Member for Mount Waverley, local councillors Rebecca Patterson and MT Pang Choi, Alan McAuliffe, Senior Education Improvement Leader for North East Victoria Region Department of Education, And with Alan this evening, we are so pleased to have 3 international visitors from Greece, Christina, Anthula and George. Welcome to our school. Thank you all for making the time to share this great evening with our school community. We've also had good wishes and apologies from the Deputy Premier and Minister for Education, James Merlino, and the Federal Minister for Communication, Senator the Honourable Mitch Fifield, and the Mayor of the City of Monash, Paul Klesaris, and also one of our Assistant Principals, Ina Coolidge. Julia Banks, the Federal Member for Chisholm, also could not make it and be with us this evening. However, she has recorded a message that she would like me to play, and it is also available on the school website. So I think if the technology goes well, we'll play it right now. Pregnant pause.
Hi, I'm Julia Banks, the Federal Member for Chisholm and part of Prime Minister Turnbull's team. It is so exciting that Essex Heights Primary have been selected to participate in this amazing program with NASA. I want you to all have fun. It will no doubt be a lifetime experience asking questions of an astronaut orbiting 400 kilometres above the Earth. I can't wait to hear all about it so I can talk about it in Canberra. So make sure you let me know how the night went. Have fun and enjoy.
This evening's special event has been made possible by the collaboration of amateur radio operators around the world with space agencies such as NASA in the USA, but also in Russia, Canada, Japan and Europe. This organisation, ARIS, Amateur Radio on the International Space Station, is run by volunteers from the National Amateur Radio Organisations and the International Radio Amateur Satellite Corporation, AMSAT. ARIS provides opportunities for school communities around the world to learn about life on board the International Space Station and to become more aware of the benefits of human flights and the exploration that occurs on such journeys. Today, we held a free dress day to raise funds for these generous amateur radio volunteers that make these occasions possible for school communities like ours. At present, we have raised $532 for ARIS, but I hope that we can raise a little bit more tonight. We will have some of our school leaders actually wandering around with a donation box, and I assure you that any donation that goes in there will go straight to ARIS. We know that an evening like tonight's will inspire our children to have a great interest in science, technology, engineering and mathematics, to learn more about space technologies and wireless communications through amateur radio. In the lead up to tonight, we opened an expression of interest for students from years 3 to 6. Needless to say, we were inundated with excellent applications. After a lot of reading and discussion, the 12 students in front of you tonight were chosen to represent our school. At the same time, all classes from Prep to Year 6 were involved in discussions about space, the International Space Station, and formulating questions for our students to ask. We have chosen 24 questions. So, if time permits, each student will have the opportunity to ask 2 questions. I think if you look around, you will see some amazing artwork that has been created for this occasion by students in art and in their classrooms. Thank you all for making the time to be here this evening and to make this another great community opportunity and event. I'm pretty sure we are all looking forward to the next few minutes as we approach the countdown to the communication window with the International Space Station at 6:24 p.m. Make sure we all enjoy the night. Thank you.
I'll just say a few words, if that's all right. Look, my name's Robert, and I'm here as part of part of the ARIS support team, and it's a privilege to be able to assist and to be able to do these contacts with schools. You'll see a number of people behind the cameras and running around the room. They're all part of our team, and I'd like to acknowledge their help and support tonight as well. Thank you. Behind you on the screen there, you'll see a slide up there, and some of you have probably worked out what this is, but there's the ISS. Now, the ISS is currently heading towards Australia, and this yellow circle here represents the communication footprint of the ISS. So, of course, the Earth is curved. So, when the International Space Station appears over one horizon, we're going to have approximately 10 minutes of communication time whilst it passes overhead and then disappears behind us on the other horizon. So this little grey area here with the yellow circle indicates the communication footprint. Here we are over here. That's the receiving station here in Australia. And so you can see that it's moving slowly but surely towards Australia, and that'll be our contact. So there you go. That's what we'll keep that slide up there because it's kind of interesting. And probably just as a matter of courtesy too, if you could, by all means, keep your phones on for taking pictures and things like that, but if you could all turn them to silent, that would be great, because there's nothing worse than someone's mobile phone goes off in the middle of a contact. Probably a little bit more about amateur radio. We keep on using this term amateur radio, and for those of you who are not aware, we're hobbyists. So amateur radio is in fact a hobby, and the hobby involves communication. So we're radio experimenters. We build radios, we develop new technology, we develop new software. We take great pride in being able to see how far around the world we can communicate with our homebrew radios or home-built radios or radios that we've purchased. So it's quite an interesting hobby. There's about 15,000 licensed radio amateurs here in Australia, and so we're quite popular in that sense. And you never know, you might have been driving down the street and you see somebody with an antenna on their top of their house that looks a bit bigger than the average TV antenna. There's a very good chance that's the home of a radio amateur. So, yeah. I don't know if anyone's got any questions. I'm happy to answer them. Yeah.
I've got a question. You obviously have been doing this for a long time because it's a very professional outfit. But has there ever been a time where things maybe didn't go exactly according to plan, and how does the communication on such an important event like that, how do you get around that?
Yes, okay, so the question was that, acknowledging that we've done a few of these before, in fact, just recently we celebrated 1,000 school contacts with the International Space Station, so let me rephrase that. The International Space Station has made 1,000 contacts to schools around the world. We personally haven't been involved in that. I've probably been involved in about 15 of these schools. Yeah. Yep. So, so that's what. And what happens if it doesn't go quite to plan? Well, as you'll hear in the script that will be read out a little bit later on, these on the ISS, what they're doing is conducting experiments. So what they consider this contact with the school today to be an experiment as well. So, and sometimes experiments don't always go as planned. And you know, we've had some contacts that you know, haven't been quite as good as others, but we've been pretty fortunate. We've had a very good run. So, yeah. A lot of planning and preparation goes into these contacts too, and that helps make things quite reliable.
The International Space Station, where we're orbiting Earth 16 times every day. One of the most rewarding activities that some astronauts undertake on orbit is to talk to schools using the space station's ham radio. Now, these are events that are planned by ARIS, which is a worldwide group of amateur radio volunteers who are dedicated to introducing young people and students to science, technology, engineering and mathematics. Now, this is the equipment here in the Columbus Laboratory, which consists of a handheld radio, a headset, and we also have a ham video unit. Now, as the International Space Station orbits above your location, a radio link is established between the ISS and your school. Now, because we're travelling at nearly 18,000 miles per hour, which is an incredible 25 times the speed of sound, we usually get about 9 or 10 minutes of good radio contact before losing the signal. So about 5 minutes before the scheduled start time of the contact, I come into the Columbus Laboratory and configure the radio so that I'm on the correct channel. And sometimes I'll set up the ham video too. Just before the predicted time, I begin to start calling the school using the standard amateur radio calling techniques. For example, if the call sign of your school was GB4 Fun, I would say Golf Bravo 4, Foxtrot Uniform November. This is Golf Bravo 1 Sierra Sierra, listening and standing by. Now at your school, the radio operator will be listening for my call, but may also transmit and try to call me as well. You'll probably have a much more powerful transmitter on the ground than we have up here on board, so I'm likely to hear you before you hear me. Then, once we can hear each other, then comes the best bit, which is actually talking to the students and answering the questions. Once I've answered all the questions, we use the remaining time to say goodbye to each other and end the connection. I'll then spend a few minutes configuring the radio back into a rebroadcast mode, and then I'll go back to my day job, which is of course doing science on board the International Space Station. ARIS is a brilliant opportunity for astronauts to talk to school pupils. It's really rewarding to hear how excited the students are when they're talking to somebody up here in space. And it's a true privilege to be able to inspire our next generation of scientists and engineers through amateur radio.
Okay, at this point we're going to hand it across to the radio link, and you'll hear over the speakers, if you could all be quiet, and you'll hear the voice of our crew who are assisting with the communication with the space station. So I'll just put that across now.
Okay, hello everyone in Australia. My name is Kieran. I'm calling from England, and before we start our main programme, I've got a few little bits of admin to get through itself. First of all, I would like to ask if anybody has got a mobile phone or a pager or a tablet that has a data connection on it, can you please turn the data connections off? Including the voice side of it. That's simply to avoid any problems with interference. You can still keep the devices on to take pictures, but just turn the data side of it off, please. And also, I understand you've all been practicing your questions very well, and we're looking forward to hearing that happen and to get Serena to answer your questions. But one of the really important things that we like to do is to give the astronaut a really big thank you at the end of the questions. So Shane, who's our tele-bridge operator today, will at some point pop up on the list of questions and say something to the effect of time to say a thank you to Serena. And at that point, I would like everybody to cheer. So I would like to practice that so we can hear what that is like. So Shane, if you're ready, if you would like to give the comment, and then let's hear how much everybody cheers from Australia.
Sure. Okay, everyone, we're about to put contact with Serena, so everybody a big cheer and a thank you. Go ahead. Did you hear that? My word, I heard it. Very good.
Very good indeed. Okay, so the other thing that we need to do is that when we make contact with Serena, everyone needs to be quiet. The signal will be quite low to begin with, or at least to start with, and then rapidly get very good for us. But it's important that we keep all cheering and clapping until the end of the contact itself. Also, have we got Principal George Perini standing by? So in a few minutes I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit about the school. And to all the students asking the questions, please remember to step up to the microphone in good time, and then as soon as the astronaut has finished answering the previous question, you start with your question. And please don't forget to say the thank you, the over at the end of the question. That's a really important thing, because that's the signal to the astronaut for her to start answering your question. But something that's really important is please listen to the answer that the astronaut gives. It's your little moment in history, your opportunity to do something that very few people are able to do. So please make sure you listen to the answer and to understand what the astronaut has said back to you. Sometimes when you get interviewed afterwards, you get asked the question, well, what did the astronaut say? And in the heat of the moment, it's very easy to miss the answer. So to the students, very important, please listen to the answer. Okay, so we are coming up on 7 minutes to the start of the contact with the International Space Station. One more thing that I would like to do is that I'm going to ask Shane to what we call open the squelch. So this is the noise that you're going to hear at the very start of the contact. It's important that you get used to this noise. It's there all the time, except whenever we've got a really good, strong signal. If you listen really, really carefully at the beginning, you can actually hear the astronaut when we pick them up at the start. So Shane, would you like to open up the squelch, please, and let everyone get accustomed to what the audio sounds like?
Okay, please stand by. I'll open the squelch now, and Robert, at the end of it, if you can let me know if you require a little bit more level. Okay, opening now. Okay, how was that?
Thank you, Shane. That audio level was about the same as your voice. Your voice is a little bit softer than the moderator. Over.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that's good. Right, so Bridget, would you like to start the recording, please?
Yes, thank you. One moment. All right, the recordings are started. Thank you.
Hey, hello everyone. My name is Kieran Morgan, amateur radio call sign N0XTD, and I am your hours moderator for today. Through the help of amateur radio volunteers and the crew of the International Space Station, we soon hope to establish radio contact with the International Space Station as it flies more than 400 kilometers above the Earth as it's approaching Australia. This is all accomplished through ARIS, amateur radio on the International Space Station. The ISS is currently approaching the southern Australian coast, travelling at around 27,500 kilometres an hour. The contact for today is being performed using what we call the ARIS tele-bridge network. This is a worldwide network of amateur radio ground stations that enables students to contact the ISS. ARIS is an international consortium of volunteers from 9 nations that assist to develop and operate the amateur radio equipment on board the International Space Station. Those agencies that support ARIS are the American Radio Relay League, the Worldwide AMSAT Amateur Radio Satellite Corporations, the Canadian Space Agency, the European Space Agency, the Japanese Space Agency, Roscosmos, the Russian Space Agency, and NASA. The amateur radio ground station that will establish the radio contact with the ISS in approximately 4 minutes is Shane, is VK4KHZ, and he's located in Glendine in Queensland, Australia. Thanks for helping us out today, Shane.
That's a real pleasure. Thanks, Kieran.
So we're coming up on about 4 minutes, and our link today is with the students from Essex Heights Primary School in Victoria, Australia. Now let's check in with the school. We've asked the principal, George Perini, to please tell us a little bit about the school and the students that are taking part today. So over to you, George.
Greetings everyone from Essex Heights Primary School. We have a large crowd of students, staff and parents gathered in our school hall to be part of this amazing occasion. As mentioned, my name is George Perini and I'm the principal, and I would like to give all those who are listening to this live stream, both nationally and internationally, a little information about our school and our place in the world. Essex Heights Primary School is in Melbourne, Australia, which is the capital city of the state of Victoria. Melbourne has a population of 4.8 million people, which is about 19% of the population of Australia. Our school is in the suburb of Mount Waverley, which is in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne. Essex Heights Primary School has just over 570 students, 24 classes, and the children range in ages from 5 through to 12 years of age. It is currently 6:22 on Tuesday night, July the 17th. It is winter in Australia, and today has been cloudy, windy and chilly, with temperatures ranging from 6 to 15 degrees Celsius. In July, the climate is usually quite cool, with the average maximum temperature being about 12 degrees Celsius. There has been tremendous interest in this event amongst the children at our school. All of the children in year 6 and from the year 3 to 6 were given the chance to write an expression of interest, and then 12 were selected to have this opportunity of representing the school tonight. Also, children from Prep to year 6 submitted possible questions to be asked tonight, and the best ones were selected for Serena to answer.
That's great.
We have also had significant interest in this week from media, including newspapers, local TV and the Department of Education, local councillors and both state and federal politicians. We are currently gathered in our school hall with approximately 300 students, families and friends who are here to witness this occasion. I wish everyone luck this evening. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, George. Shane, we're approaching 1 minute before AOS, acquisition of signals. Can you very, very quickly please tell us a little bit about your station, where you are and how you want to handle the conversation today?
Excellent, thank you, Kieran. Yes, I'm located in Glendon, which is a small semi-remote mining community, about 180 kilometres inland from the city of Mackay. I'm at about 400 metres elevation, which lends itself very well to this type of activity. When we establish radio contact, as Kieran said earlier, the signal's probably going to be a little bit light, but it will get better. Once I've established a good solid contact, I'll just simply say, please go ahead, Essex Heights, with your first question. Now I understand Malavika will be the first person, so I'll just simply hope that Malavika will be up to the microphone, and when I said, please go ahead, Essex with your first question, Malavika, it'll be all yours. Okay, well, my antennas are now tracked into position and we're about to acquire signal from the space station, so I'm about to start calling. Please don't be too concerned if we don't hear anything to start with. I'll keep calling until we've got a signal. Please stand by. Calling November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra, NA1SS. This is Victor Kilo 4, Kilo Hotel Zulu, VK4KHZ, calling for a scheduled contact. Can you receive? Serena, over.
Victor Kilo 4, Kilo Hotel Zulu, I have you. Moderately loud and clear. How are you guys doing?
Hey, good morning to you, Serena. We're doing very well. Serena, we have the students from Essex Heights Primary School in Victoria, Australia, standing by for you with their questions. Please go ahead, Essex Heights, with your first question, Malavika.
My name is Malavika. Why did you want to be an astronaut? Over.
Hi, Malavika. I wanted to be an astronaut since I was about 8 years old, and I watched the space shuttle launch over and over again, and I just knew at that time that space was where I wanted to be. It looked like one of the neatest places in the world, and I felt like I belonged there. Over.
My name is Ariana. How long and what training did you do to be selected as an astronaut? Over.
Hi, Ariana. So the training can be very long. I was in school and went to university, and then I went to medical school after that and trained to be a doctor. And then once I got into the astronaut corps, I trained for many years to get ready for the mission. And once you're told you are selected for a mission, it's about 2 to 3 years of training to learn about all the science for that mission and then also the systems on board the space station. Over.
My name is Pranavi. Does your body react differently in space? Over.
Pranavi, that's a great question, and yes, it does. The moment we get up here, because there's no gravity, your muscles and your bones start to weaken, and so all the astronauts exercise every day to keep our muscles and our bones strong. The other thing that changes is sometimes our eyeballs actually change shape just a little bit, and sometimes people can have problems reading. We have special glasses for that, but this is a newer problem that we've noticed in a good number of our astronauts, and so we're following it very closely.
Hi, my name is Matthew. What different jobs do you do as work on the space station? Over.
Matthew, we do a lot of different jobs on the space station. We do everything from moving our big robot arm that Canada made for us. We do spacewalks. Yesterday, I was doing special science on cancer therapy, which is really important, I think, up here. And today, I'm in the Japanese module, helping to take off something from the special Japanese airlock. And it's a device that helps launch miniature satellites into space. So every day is different. We're doing all kinds of different jobs on the space station.
My name is Zainab. What happens if you fall seriously ill on the space station? Over.
Zainab, I love that question. We actually have a lot of medicines up here on the space station. We have very special medical packs. It's nice because I am a doctor, so I will help as much as I can. And we have special doctors called flight surgeons who work on the ground and follow us very closely to make sure we are healthy.
My name is Avril. What emergency backup plans are there if something very seriously happens to the space station? Over.
Avril, another great question. We train a lot on emergency things that may happen on the space station. The 3 things we are most worried about is fire. If the space station starts to lose pressure, what we call a depressurization, and if we leak a toxic substance called ammonia on board the space station. And the good thing is we have the spacecraft that we took up here, the Soyuz, is always here for us. And so if something serious happens on the space station and the crew actually needs to leave, the Soyuz is always ready. So we have our emergency vehicle always ready for all 6 members.
My name is Jacob. What was the most difficult part of astronaut training? Over.
Jacob, I think one of the most difficult parts of astronaut training is actually being away from your family for so long. I did a lot of training in Russia and Germany Canada and Japan, and so I don't get to see my family as much. And so, you know, we try and talk to each other on the telephone as much as we can, but that's probably one of the most difficult parts, is being away from family.
My name is Nandita. Why is it important to conduct experiments in space? Over.
Nandita, I like that question because a lot of people wonder why we do science up here. And for example, yesterday I was working on special cancer science. And the reason I was doing that is because the different cells that they were looking at grow very differently up here in space than they do on the ground. And it lets the scientists see how the special cancer medicine works in different ways. So that's just one of the reasons why we do science on board the space station.
My name is Akira. Sometimes animals like insects and spiders are taken into space. Have any been hatched in space and does zero gravity affect them? Over.
I think one of the neatest experiments we saw up here was when we brought 2 golden orb spiders on board the space station. And they spun their web almost exactly the same as they did on Earth, just a little more in a circle shape. But interestingly, the spiders stuck to a very specific time schedule. They would only spin their webs at certain times during the day.
My name is Charlotte. What do you do on a typical day? Over.
Charlotte, on a typical day, we usually work about 12 hours. We have a special morning and evening conference with Mission Control to discuss the plans, and then every person on the space station gets to work. So we do science experiments, and then we generally also have 2 hours where we exercise every day as well to keep our bodies very healthy up here. We usually work on some International Space Station systems or any maintenance or repair work that needs to be done. So the day is so full, by the time we eat dinner, we're almost all ready to go to bed.
My name is Rudraksh. Why does food taste differently on the space station? And do you eat your meals together? Over.
You know, I don't think food tastes that much different on the space station. To me, it pretty much tastes the same. We do eat a lot of our meals together, and the whole crew will gather often in the evenings to talk about our day and share special food together. And so we do eat a lot. It does feel like a family.
My name is Alma. Does space junk cause a potential problem for the space station? Over.
Alma, great question, and yes, it does. That space junk or debris is something that we monitor all the time, and occasionally the space station needs to get out of the way of that space junk, and we can do a special maneuver to move the station out of the way to make sure it doesn't hit us.
This is Malavika. How many spacewalks have you and the crew done? And was it scary? Over.
So Malavika, I've only been up here about 40 days, but within the first week of getting up here, Drew and Ricky, 2 of my other crew members, did a spacewalk. And I don't think it's scary. I think it's one of the neatest things you could do because of all the beautiful views of the Earth. And then very soon, in the middle of August, both Oleg and Sergei, our Russian crewmates, will be doing their own spacewalk outboard the space station.
This is Ariana. What is your favorite food to eat on the space station? And what food are you missing the most? Over.
Ariana, there's one answer for that, and that is ice cream. Ice cream is one of the foods I miss the most up here, but luckily, when the SpaceX vehicle came, they had a special little freezer, and they brought the whole crew ice cream bars. It was a great day.
This is Pranavi. What differences have you noticed in your body while you have been in space? And how will you get used to gravity when you return to Earth? Over.
Pranavi, I think the biggest thing that you notice is you're obviously not using your legs and your feet as much as you do on Earth. But when we run on our special treadmill, we actually hold ourselves down with bungees. And every time I do that, the bottom of my feet tingle, because I haven't been standing on them for so long, and it's such a neat feeling because I remember what it's like to be standing on Earth. And it does take time once we get back to get used to Earth's gravity again. But we try and keep ourselves as strong as possible up here so we are able to readapt very quickly.
This is Matthew. Have any of the past scientific experiments on the space station had a real-world impact on Earth? Over.
Matthew, absolutely. The cancer therapy research I was doing yesterday is looking at a special new cancer medication to help kill the blood supply of the tumor. Every tumor needs blood to survive and stay alive. And the scientists are doing experiments up here in the space station right now to help develop that.
Okay, everyone at Essex Heights Primary School, we're about to lose signal from the space station. Can everyone please give Serena a big thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Essex Heights Primary School. It was great to talk with you today from the International Space Station.
In A1SS, thanks very much for your participation today, Serena. This is VK4KHZ, now closing the link. 7 3s and all the best from Australia.
There we go, folks. How about that? You've just had one of the best wow moments in history. Shane, whose amateur radio station VK4KHZ, and is located in Glending in Queensland, Australia, contacted and spoke to astronaut Serena Aunon-Chancellor, KG5TMT, aboard the International Space Station and spoke with you, the students at Essex Heights Primary School in Victoria, Australia. And wasn't it a special this time? Now, for the whole of the international volunteer team of ARIS, including the amateur radio satellite corporations around the world, the American Radio Relay League, the Canadian Space Agency, the Russian Space Agency, the European Space Agency, the Japanese Space Agency, and of course NASA, this is Kieran Morgan, M0XTD, your ARIS moderator, sending my greetings to all of you in our traditional amateur radio terms, 7 3s, which means best wishes and goodbye. Well done, everyone. That's brilliant. Now, one very last quick thing is just to say, can everyone give a big round of applause to Shane, please, because he's helped us so much today. So a big round of applause.
Thank you, everyone. It's a real pleasure.
Okay, and that's it. So please go back, have a listen to the recording, listen to your answers that have been given to you, and remember that today you spoke to an astronaut on the International Space Station. A very special moment for everyone involved. Thank you very much, everyone, and this is Kieran signing off. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Kieran. Your efforts have been very much appreciated from the team and from the Essex Primary School.
Richard, can you drop the stool, please?
Thanks, guys. I'll drop the link down. That's it. Thank you.
Can I just say what a marvellous experience that was. Can we have a round of applause, first of all, for all our ARIS volunteers who make it happen, because without them, we're not even here. And then, secondly, what about the excellent questions being asked by our students? Big round of applause. That was a really great job. Students, as a memento of this occasion, we have here some certificates. The certificate reads like this. This is to certify that, and that'll be depending on the name of the student. This is your attraction, this is yours. Has been awarded this certificate in recognition of having successfully completed two-way radio contact with the crew of the International Space Station from the grounds of Essex Heights Primary School this 17th day of July 2018. So, Radresh, this is for you. Congratulations. These are in no particular order. Alma, this is yours. Congratulations. Akira. Once you've collected your certificate, just take a seat back at your spot, please. Malavika. Pranavi. Jacob. Ariana. Matthew. Nandita. Zainab. Charlotte. And last but not least, Avril. As I've mentioned a few times this evening, this event doesn't happen without some of the people that you see working around us here, and also the people that you have heard. So we owe a really special word of thanks to Kieran Morgan, who was in the UK, Shane Lind, who was in Queensland at the ground station, and to Tony Hutchison, who was in fact a support and a contact in South Australia. Thank you, yes. Can you get those things there? We have some little thank you gifts for some of the ARIS people that have been with us tonight. So could I ask, as I read out the names, could the people from ARIS put their hand up so some of our students will hand you our little token of our thanks. Robert, who was our contact person for the tele-bridge operator. Thank you very much, Robert. Down the back, please, Malavika. To Ralph, who is our video production coordinator. Right down the back, please, for Ralph. Damien, one of our video camera people, right there, thank you. Jack, also a cameraman. Alan, third cameraman. And to Tim, who was technical support, right down the back. Can I just say thank you all so much, because you have given the children today the experience of a lifetime, and it's something they will always talk about. One person who has been the main driver of this whole ARIS project, which started in fact with another link in 2016, but the energy just keeps growing and the motivation keeps growing. Jenny Austin, come up here, please. Jenny, your energy, your enthusiasm, your passion for this project is second to none. Thank you so much for everything you've done. a lot of people go to make an event such as this. So to the many staff that are here tonight, and I need to mention some in particular: Ina Coolidge, Ben Worcester, Carolyn Wilson, Marita Stewart, Jean Elliott and Anita Dix. Thank you for the different things you've done to help out along the way, because you've made tonight possible. To the staff that are here, thank you. Thank you for showing support. Thank you for supporting the children. And to all of you for being here. I know it was cold. I thought we'd be rained out. I thought we'd be blown away at one stage. But thank you for making this a very special, memorable night for all the children and for Essex Heights Primary School. So thank you for coming. Drive home safely. And I really hope that you've got something to talk about for a long time. Thanks very much.
Councillor and myself and the students and you.
Absolutely.
There.